our creamy mushroom quinoa dish. We're going to get started. We're going to kind of get our mise en place all set up. So we need a couple of cloves of garlic. We're just going to chop those up, and you can just kind of smash it a little bit. I just kind of like to chop. Now, you could use the jar stuff, guys. You could use powder if that's what you have. Again, use what you have. Don't need to be stressing over it. I happen to have some fresh, so I was going to use fresh. So I do have a quick tip for you. If you don't like using garlic because you don't like your fingers and everything smelling of garlic, or anything that you're using in the kitchen that has a very strong, pungent odor, the way to get rid of that is just get something that's stainless steel, like a good knife, or any of your utensils that happen to be stainless steel. Rinse your hands under cold water with your stainless steel. If you're using a knife, obviously be very careful. And it's a chemical reaction. It will actually get rid of the smell off of your skin. Good to know. Now, the other thing we're using is mushrooms. Obviously, when you're using mushrooms, you do not want to wash them under a lot of cold water. You could use a tea towel or a lightly dampened dish towel or paper towel, and you just kind of want to wipe off all the dirt. Mushrooms will soak up a lot of the water, and we don't want extra water in our dish. So I've cut a couple of mushrooms. We need about 2 cups of sliced mushrooms for this dish, and you can kind of slice them any way you want them for your dish. We are going to end up frying them up. So you could chop them finer if you'd like. I kind of like the way they are with a little bit, I like them sliced so that there's a little bit meaty in the dish, and that you could see them. Because once you do fry them up, they shrivel down. This is a great recipe. Now, we are going to use some cashew cream in this. I'm going to show you how to make it. So it's not quite the starch solution for maximum weight loss. It is still starch solution because it just has cashew nuts in it. If you're still doing the maximum weight loss and you're not doing any nuts, we're literally using about half a cup of cashews for this whole dish, and this is going to be probably about 7 or 8 servings. So really, for the amount of nuts, it's not really a lot, but you can still leave that out. You can just use soy milk, almond milk, anything else. You could blend up some white beans if you'd like. But every once in a while, you can treat yourself. A couple of cashews are not going to kill you, especially, since we're balancing the rest of our dishes. The other thing we're going to add in is we're going to also add in some cauliflower rice, and that's going to even bump up our 50-50 plate even more. So we're going to still have even more non-starchy vegetables compared to our quinoa, because we're using about a cup of quinoa. And so when that cooks, that's going to be bumped up to 2 cups of quinoa. That's basically how it is. So with our over 2 cups of mushrooms and then our our cauliflower, we're going to have that even bumped up even more. So before we head over to the stove, we're going to make our cashew cream. So I've soaked my cashews overnight. If you didn't have time to soak your cashews overnight, that's okay. You can just take some boiling water, let them soak for about a half an hour or so. You just want to soften them. And it also depends on your blender. Again, I'm going to use this blender just because it's out. I only have a small amount, and I do find sometimes with the Vitamix with a smaller amount, it's harder to blend. I'm going to add a little bit of soy milk just to get it blending. I'm going to make it a thinner cream, actually. And again, I'll edit so you don't have to listen to all this, but. Now this cashew cream is the basis for so many other things. You can use this as a crema. You could add cilantro in here, lime, cilantro, do it as a crema for tacos, any kind of topping for, once you're at your maintenance or if you're using, these kind of cream sauces a little bit more on top of your salads and stuff, and just change up your flavorings. This is just going to be the base just to go in. We're going to add a few more other flavorings because I'm using some fresh thyme to go in this at the very, very end. We're going to add that at the end because we don't want it to cook out once we're cooking. So now that we have everything ready to go, we're going to head over to the stove and we're going to start cooking so you can see everything happening. Here's coming up to a boil. I'm going to add our garlic. We're just going to saute that. I probably shouldn't have that much water in there, but I'm going to add my mushrooms and let those cook down. Don't know if your parents ever told you the saying, don't do as I do, do as I say. So you make sure you don't have as much water as I do. But these will cook down relatively fast. So the mushrooms have cooked down. We're going to add in our quinoa. So 1 cup of quinoa is going into our pot. Now, if you're using regular quinoa, you're going to want to rinse your quinoa first. Again, if you've been here, I use the Costco quinoa, and you don't have to actually rinse that quinoa. So that quinoa is gone in. Give that a little bit of a stir. I'm going to add in now 2 cups of water. I'm using a little bit of broth. Again, just to give it some more flavor. We're all about the flavor. I'm going to add in a 12-ounce package of rice cauliflower. That can all cook at the same time. And you can leave out the cauliflower. You don't have to add it in. I'm just bulking it up so it'll be more of a 50-50 plate. All right. I'm also going to add in about a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of pepper. Oh, half a teaspoon of pepper, sorry. And I'm going to leave the salt until the end, just so I can see what it needs at the end when we add our herbs in. So you're going to want to bring this up to a boil, put your lid on, and then let it cook for about 15 minutes to let the quinoa cook and absorb. And I'll meet you back here. Okay, so our quinoa has absorbed all the liquid. You can see it's beautiful. We're just fluffing it up now. Now to that, we're going to add in our nutritional yeast. And guys, like as always, the recipes are going to be down below for you, so no worries. We're going to add in some nutritional yeast. Give that a good stir. And now we're going to add in our cashew cream. Make it creamy. And I am going to add a little bit of soy milk. I'm going to say about 1/4 cup. If you like it thinner, add some more. And now we're going to add in our fresh herbs. So you could use rosemary. I have thyme here. You're going to need about a tablespoon of fresh herbs. You could use dry. If you're going to use it dry, I would put it in while you're cooking so they have time to permeate. But the fresh herbs just add an extra oomph at the end. Always adding great flavor. If you're growing, like you have a little rosemary tree, or you can tell I grow stuff. I have basil. That's about it. Everything else I kill, even the basil half the time. I try. Anyway, let's add our fresh thyme. Probably are going to need a little bit more. Don't need the stick. Give this a little taste. Really good. I am going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Actually, I'm going to add some fresh black pepper. I'll give it a nice little kick. Just get that out of there. And I am going to add some more fresh thyme. And there you go. Creamy mushroom quinoa. Give that one a try, guys. I hope you're enjoying these meal preps. These are so good. Starch solution is the way to go if you are trying to lose weight. These 50-50 plates they fill you up. They're healthy, they're nutritious. There's no better way to do it. And don't forget, guys, leave me some comments below. Let me know what you're thinking of these recipes. Give them a try. Send me some pictures. Anyway, until the next one, see you soon.